Welcome to your friendly neighborhood historian, where we discuss just enough history to inform, intrigue, and entertain. I'm Bill Petro. The history of the Ides of March. Who should beware? According to the ancient Roman calendar, the Ides fell on the 13th of the month, except for March, May, July, and October, when it fell on the 15th. But something epical occurred in 44 BC. On March 15th, 44 BC, the Roman dictator Julius Caesar was assassinated after a seer had warned him that harm would befall him before the end of the Ides of March. The historian Suetonius tells us the seer who had divined Caesar's fate by reading the entrails of animals was named Spurina. Caesar passed Spurina on the way to the theater of Pompey and confidently said, "Well, the Ides of March are coming," suggesting that he had survived, contrary to the prophecy. "Aye," Spurina replied, "they are come, but they are not gone." Contrary to popular belief, including William Shakespeare's play, Caesar was not assassinated in the Capitol, meaning the Curia Hostilia, or the Senate House in the Roman Forum at the foot of the Capitoline Hill. Rather, Caesar was assassinated by the Senate, but near the statue of Pompey at the Theatrum Pompeium, where the Senate used to meet at that time during the Roman Republic. This precinct is now a voluntary cat sanctuary. I counted over a dozen homeless cats there. Local women regularly feed them. I was told they are fed spaghetti, but I can't be sure of that. Back in the 20th century, they were fed tripe. In any event, Mark Antony would have delivered his Shakespearean speech, "Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears," from the rostra of the Forum, directly across from the Senate House. Why was Julius Caesar assassinated? The conspirators had hoped to protect the Republic from destruction by Caesar, but inadvertently contributed to its demise. They feared that Caesar had become too powerful and would return Rome to a monarchy, and they despised the idea of a king. Caesar had been awarded countless honors and triumphs, some unusual, others extraordinary. What were his honors and offices that were deemed threatening? First, as a military leader, he had twice been acclaimed as Imperator, an honorary title assumed by certain military commanders. Also, he was elected 4 times to the most senior magistracy in the Republic, that of consul. There were usually 2 consuls elected, though typically for only 6 months or perhaps a year. But Caesar had his consulship extended to 10 years. His last consulship was without a co-consul. Moreover, he was elected Pontifex Maximus, which is the chief priest of the Roman state religion. Caesar was appointed dictator on 3 occasions, with Mark Antony as his second in command, typically lasting for only a year. His third appointment was for 10 years. He tripled the number of senators to 900. His appointments were, of course, loyal to him. The month before his assassination, he was appointed dictator in perpetuity, meaning for life. Lastly, he was granted a golden chair in the Senate, was allowed to wear triumphal dress, and was offered a form of semi-official living deification, the first for any of the Caesars. Mark Antony served as the high priest of what the Senate later decreed on January the 1st, 42 BC, the cult of the divine Julius Caesar. Most importantly, in that month of February, during the celebration of Lupercalia, which is the Roman fertility celebration now associated with modern St. Valentine's Day, Mark Antony ran around the Forum adorned in oil and, in his hand, thongs of goat hide to whip women in sport, to encourage fertility and easy childbirth. As the Roman writer Ovid said, "Neither potent herbs, nor prayers, nor magic spells shall make of thee a mother. Submit with patience to the blows dealt by a fruitful hand. Meanwhile, Cleopatra, with whom Caesar had had an affair, was in Rome seeking official recognition for her son with him, named Caesarion. During the celebration, Mark Antony ran up to Caesar, sitting on his golden chair upon the rostra, and attempted to place a royal diadem on Caesar's head. But Caesar refused, in what was likely a staged performance, perhaps to gauge the Roman public's mood about accepting Caesar as king. Caesar was planning on a campaign the following month of April to conquer the Parthian Empire, so the assassins had to move quickly. On the Ides of March, he suffered 23 knife stabs to his body, though only one was lethal. Marcus Junius Brutus, the most famous of the assassins and a leader in the conspiracy, unable to speak to the fleeing Senate, went to the Capitol and shouted, "People of Rome, we are once again free." The result of Caesar's assassination and the subsequent rise of his grandnephew, Octavian, as his heir and avenger, led to a civil war and the rise of the Second Triumvirate. Octavian became Emperor Caesar Augustus. The Roman Republic had ended. Dead bodies could not be kept inside the city, and Caesar was cremated in the Forum. Flowers are left there to this day. Moral of the story: watch your back. Thank you for listening. I'm Bill Petro, your friendly neighborhood historian. You can find more details on this topic and others on my website at billpetro.com.